That's kind of 2018. I don't think there's a sort of special celebration for this particular date. It's not Pi Day. It's not any other special day. So it's just the 18th of April. That's it. But this is another Sumo community meeting. So thank you for being here with us. And thank you for watching us later if you're doing so. We have quite a few updates today. Not as many as we had in our record-breaking agenda of 45 minutes plus, but definitely quite a few things waiting to be shared with you. On the upside, we have a lot of people in the room. We have Chris, we have Roland, we have Madalena, we have Rachel, and we have me as well. So that's really great. Great to have a full meeting full of happy, friendly faces. Even though if my face at this moment is no longer friendly or happy, it's just because the day has been long. Sorry for that. It's past 6 here in the evening. So anyway, that happens. My coffee already kind of went out of the window, and I'm just kind of like I'm waiting for the coffee tomorrow. That's it. Anyway. Anyway, let's start the meeting then. I'm just going to take a very quick look on the Sumo channel on IRC. Ton lurking probably as always. And greetings to Caspi and to Saburo and to MKLL, as always, visible. And Linux Mother was there as well. Perfect. So yeah, greetings to you, dear people there. Let's start with the product updates, because I think, Roland, in the interest of your time, we're going to let you go first again and go for it.
All right.
Agenda.
Yes, as MKLL has put on the Etherpad, Firefox for iOS 11 was released last week for iPhone and iPad. Lots of iPad improvements. Also, tracking protection by default is on. We got a lot of good press for that. That's about it. The team is working on Firefox for iOS 12. Release date unknown, May-ish, June-ish, before the all hands. Not sure. I don't really track Developer Edition, but yes, beta is out, and they are substantially the same. And we are looking for your help. We know that. I know that. Everybody knows that, especially in the land of desktop. And volunteers know more than employees about what's in the releases of Firefox. So we have two wiki pages. We would love two things: a summary of the user-facing features and the detailed list, and which will go into a blog post. And this is 99.999% public information at this point. So it'd be great if you could do that for Firefox for Mac, Windows, Linux, and desktop, and Android, or which is Firefox desktop and Android. I put some thoughts in there. MKLL has put some thoughts in there. If you have anything that we're missing, no matter how small, that's user-facing, it'd be wonderful for you to note that in those two wiki pages. And with that, I will probably end up leaving in, well, I will not probably, I will be leaving in 5 minutes. Ciao, tschüss. Bis später. Bis nächste Woche.
Thank you very much for the updates, Roland. Thank you very much for the additional updates, MKLL. I'm thinking actually we should have MKLL run a meeting or two at some point, because you basically fill half of the agenda for us nowadays, which is great because you are all over the place.
He would have to, or she would have to, they would have to decloak.
Yeah, well, we can
proper
arrange
bandwidth. Maybe we could do it on Discord. Can we record Discord? Because MKL started Discord. We could just try Discord for a week, just for fun.
That's a technical question that we have to decide on later on, and it's actually not in our. This is not in our hands to decide how we're going to do the meeting until we confirm with the lovely Airmo people. So there will be some. Actually, there will be something about the technical solutions later on in the agenda. Moving onwards and forwards.
Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. No, this is a good point to raise.
I didn't scroll down.
Moving onwards and forwards to the cool news of the week. So, indeed, there was a huge Mozilla Firefox billboard spotted outside of Portland, Oregon. It was only one billboard, not three, and this is not in Missouri, so we're not going to get any Oscars for that, but hey, almost. Then we have the campaign to make sure that Facebook is not only grilled, so to speak, in the US, but also it's a global company with global reach and many billions of users, so they should definitely talk to people all over the world, not only in the US when it comes to the legislation and data leak problems and other things related to that. I don't think I have to, I mean, to a crowd as aware of what's going on with the web as you folks, I don't have to explain any more details. So yeah, we do have a campaign for that. You can sign it, you can tell your friends, take a look at it. Make sure that you actually read it and agree with what's being said there, because I think that's the most important thing. Never sign anything before you read it, unless it's a EULA. Then, well, that's a different story. And we
Unless it's
also are
ice cream.
getting, oh, that too. Hmm. Would I say ice cream? Probably. We have a very nice piece of news for you from The Verge, which is one of the kind of opinion making or opinion shaping places on the web when it comes to technology. And not only, they recently ran an article on Firefox. And yeah, it's kind of a comparative thing about Firefox, Chrome, and Safari. Of course, in a very anecdotal way, but by all means, it's not biased. It's just journalists writing about their experience and taking a look at what's going on there. We also have an awesome, amazing, indeed great workshop that was organized by Abakar in the Ivory Coast community. Thank you so much for doing this, Abakar. It's mostly posted on Twitter, but I'm pretty sure there's going to be some more noise around this in the Ivory Coast community and online. And also, let me just take a very quick look here. Oh yeah, last month was the last time Rachel saw the Spanish-speaking queue empty. Whoop whoop. Thank you, Mozilla Mexico Sumo, for helping out. So indeed, Alex Mayorga and crew, they did an amazing thing. Helping out with the support forms in Spanish. That was really good. We also have some sad news, so really sorry to hear those sad news. And yeah, well, we send our deepest sympathy. Moving onwards and forwards towards the platform update, there actually is a meeting tomorrow. Oh, geez, I am shocked. Madalena, can you please tell us more about this amazing development, which is totally rocking my saucer?
There are items on the agenda. So hi everybody. It's a long time no see for me. Too many things going on, unfortunately, that kept me away from this amazing meeting. But I'm happy to be back today and to see some of the familiar faces, plus the fox that I don't know how is showing to me. Anyway, as you probably expect, there are not a lot of developments on the platform. We're still low on developers. Nothing has changed there. We did manage to move to AWS without a lot of hiccups. There were some hiccups, but those were solved, hopefully. So we have been running this platform meeting basically only every 2 weeks and only when there were agenda items. For tomorrow, there are already some agenda items, so we will have a meeting. If you have more agenda items, please add them. The only thing for tomorrow is that I might not be able to speak because I'm having a small operation and my lip might be like swollen. So in case that happens and I won't be able to speak, I will need somebody's help to go through the agenda. So if anybody offers, please let me know. Otherwise, I will have to mumble or I don't know, learn sign language in case I'm too dizzy or too swollen to speak. So anyway, you have the link to the agenda for tomorrow in the agenda for today. Click it, read it. If you have anything to add, please do. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow. And yeah, hopefully, we will have more interesting things happening with the platform in the near future. Until then,
Thank
it's
you,
boring.
Madalena. Well, no, it's not boring. It's just, I mean, we do still have a platform, that's why we always have the platform meetings every now and
That's
then. Otherwise, there would
exactly.
be
I'm
no
just
platform meeting ever.
we
Yeah.
keep the agenda because we keep the meeting because we have a platform, and sometimes we manage to solve some bugs. Most of the times we don't, but hey, at least we file them.
I
I
think
have a
the important
question.
thing. Oh, sorry, go on.
Is is there anybody on staff working on Sumo Dev?
On Sumo, that we have people who are Mozilla staff, so not on the in the Sumo team. They are web developers for the entire marketing organization, and they're sometimes helping us. For example, with the that was the case of the AWS move. The people who were doing that were these web developers. So we basically lend their time when we really really need it, but they're not like dedicated Sumo developers. If that does that answer your question, Chris?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So anyway, the good news is that there is somebody who's looking after Sumo. So in case anything breaks really bad, or like we have an outage or anything like that, we are covered. It's just that all story we cannot do any like development work in terms of new features, etc., etc. So it's just maintenance. But fingers crossed. You never know what will happen tomorrow.
Okay, thank you very much for this, Malaya. Thank you for the question, Chris, as well. I think, yeah, I think for me, the main takeaway here is that we need a place to serve help to our users, and we have it. And we're very hard thinking about the future of it, technical and not only technical, like structural or procedural, I would say in general. So, all the things that are happening on the website done by the people who are doing them. And yeah, I hope we are going to have some more interesting or more exciting news after San Francisco, but so far so good, and we're very happy to have everybody on board, and that's what we are working with, and it's great to have you with us because that's what's going on, and this, your help is definitely making all of this happen. Without you, I don't think there would be any Sumo, dear people, so thank you for being there. On behalf of all the users. Contributors of the week, indeed, your name here because everybody who's been doing stuff has done great things. It would be kind of hard to pick up, like pick out one or two or three people at this stage. There was a lot of action everywhere, I think, in social and in the support forums. Rachel's going to tell us more in a second about that. As always, there's also quite a lot of Elton N stuff happening. So I'm going to jump over straight to this. We have the April edition of the Elton N report from the Elton N team that works with product and other websites. A quick kind of spoiler thing, and I'm not going to spoil too much because this is something that really doesn't depend only on me or only on us on the Sumo side, but generally the Open Innovation team and the Elton N team have been working on some experiments, have been working on some new ideas regarding organization and doing things together. And maybe, hopefully, perhaps we're going to do something all together. So we're going to roll Sumo into that experiment. But like I said, I'm not even putting this on the agenda because I don't want to spoil too much. This is a fairly fresh development, and I want to first hear more or have a chance to actually know what's going on in that respect so that I can talk to all of you about that. Other than that, we had over 290 revisions in the last 7 days. So a lot of people, a lot of effort, a lot of work in the KB. Thank you so much once again. We really appreciate all that. And hopefully for the next week, when I'm not here, somebody's going to look things up. I'm going to talk to the people on the team tomorrow to make sure that we have some more data for you next week regarding the revisions happening in the KB. Also, one reminder, there are the two threads that are basically about the same thing, but a while ago we had Meek, or Mihal from the Czech community, a Czech Mozillian, creating a very nice and easy to install user script to refresh or change the layout of the revision view for the KB, for the knowledge base, for all the people revising submitted revisions from kind of top to bottom to a left and right or side by side view. And we were wondering whether this is going to work well enough for you, dear reviewers, to make sure that we can maybe, for example, include it in Sumo's code, in Sumo's CSS, because it's not such a big edit or such a big change, but the functionality, at least for me and for the few people that I actually got to tell me what they thought about it was positive. But we don't want to introduce this change blindly. So if you have any thoughts or any feedback about this, I would love to see you in those threads voicing your opinion. The threads also explain how you can install this layout tweak using in Firefox or in any other browser that supports custom CSS solutions. But anyway, take a look. Really curious to hear what you think, because I think it would be a cool thing to have. It's fairly simple to implement into Sumo, into Kitsune, and we could probably do something nice with that easily. Having said that, I'm just going to take a very quick look at IRC, and in the meantime, pass the microphone over to Rachel for the social and support forum updates.
Hello, welcome to the Social and Sumo Support Forum updates. First, I want to say welcome to these new contributors to both the forums and social: Franco, Radar, Lord Darker, Dino X, Step Shauna, Mano J Moni, Oscar, and Eargun. Thank you for joining. It's really great to see you. Introduce yourself, MKLL. Thank you so much for saying hello to these people and greeting. If you are also interested in saying hello to people, we have an awesome task for you. Tasukete can tell you all about it. If you just need a break or just really like meeting new people, you go into that thread, the introductory thread, and you just say, hey, there's some really cool stuff that you can do. Speaking of other things that you can do, Tasukete also has some offerings around mentorship. I would love to see more of you mentor each other. And I know this is an ideal world and I sound like a crazy person, but you know what? It doesn't matter, because what's really important about mentorship is just being friendly and being online and present. So know that it's really easy, no experience is necessary, but it's also a really great way to meet one another. So I'm running an experiment. I've got one or two of you who are already going through some of these. I have a list of things you can ask each other, and there are also a list of things that you can use to encourage one another. Some of them include GIFs and surprises. So if you're curious and you want some mentorship, or you're just curious to see how it's going, definitely say hello in that Tasukete thread. Thank you, Tasukete. Am I saying that right? Tasu,
I believe you are, yeah.
Tasu,
I mean, there's probably
yes.
at least 5
Okay.
other different ways of pronouncing it correctly, but hey, it
All
sounds
right.
good to
Well,
me.
I'm gonna keep practicing those different ways, because I know when you hear something, you're like, wait a minute, tomato, not sure. All right, we'll make it work for you. So in the forums, we have an update from MKLL. So what he said was that perhaps we should bring back the buddy system, but name it a mentor system, as Rachel is working on some mentorship experiment. We're on the same page. Awesome, MKLL. Thank you so much for your feedback. You also helped me out with updating some of the tips and tricks that were migrated back from our summary when we made a move last year and organized it. So we're going to check that document and try to integrate it back into the contributor quality training. Maybe it depends on who's interested and who shapes this mentorship program, because I know everyone learns a little bit differently. So when you update the curriculum or you update the information, it's important that there's some speckles of sumo community in there and speckles of culture and relevant updated examples. So if you're interested and you would like to make a brain dump, find out how you can get involved there. Buddy system, we'll take a look at that. That could be part of the proposal, and we can run various experiments until we figure out what sticks. Thank you. Check out the different ways the test kit day also has for those of you who are doing one-on-one support on a daily basis and you would like to perhaps mix it up a bit. It's also an opportunity to try to learn how to contribute in other ways to Mozilla. This is an awesome way to get to know more of Mozilla across the different communities, and it's a great way to meet others who also support the Mozilla mission. Open questions, escalation guidelines, and mentorship. So we already covered mentorship, but escalation guidelines. So there is an update to the article, I think about a week ago. Please check it out to see if it works for you. There are a number of different ways that we're escalating one-to-one questions right now via private message, also by trying to file your own bug. And if these two methods are things that you'd like to learn more about, check out that escalation guideline. And if you'd like to also add a way that you have escalated that is not included in that last sentence, please feel free to also take a hack on that. So the updated way that we can all work together to help get more user issues fixed. So social support. Thank you for those who are interested in helping with triaging. Thank you. If you are still interested, please reach out. MKLL is still interested in triaging. Awesome. So we've got a couple of different experiments in the works on how we can make this happen for both casual supporters as well as those of you who are in the reply tool replying as brand. Please feel free to jump into the social support Telegram group or the Pound AOA group to ask about how to get more involved in that after this meeting later this week or via email. Awesome. There's also, if you have nothing to do on Friday, or if you just love Sumo so much and you want to know what the heck is happening in version 60, come to this meeting. Roland and I will be in the Sumo room on April 20th at 9 Pacific Standard Time, the same time as this meeting for those of you in different time zones. We will be talking about different features coming to 60, as well as potentially trying to figure out how to determine whether or not someone's profile is locked by the new policy engine or not. So if you're curious on how that works, we have no idea, so we're going to try to figure it out and record it and put it together for you. We can figure it out together like our community troubleshoots. But there's also experts, so I'm not saying everyone tries to fumble around and turn stuff on, turn stuff back on, see how it works. But they won't tell you that that's actually the secret of all troubleshooting. So anyway, for those of you who like tinkering with Firefox profiles, come to that meeting. It'll be awesome. That's all I got for you. Back to you, Michal.
Thank you, Rachel. Thank you so much for this energetic segment of our meeting. And I think I learned, thanks to MKL, how to properly pronounce Tatsikete. I don't know if I even do it properly right now, but there's this kind of sound in Japanese that's kind of very short and very shallow. It's even short and shallower than a schwa. If some of you watching this know what a schwa means, well, I think we're on the same side of trouble here. I'm sorry for mentioning this terrible thing to you. Anyway, moving onwards and forward to the agenda, we have 3 pieces of the web dropped by MKLL regarding, well, 2 of them are super cute and one of them is just funny. But generally, thank you for providing those lighthearted moments for us and everybody else, MKL. And we are moving onwards and forwards. There's a bit of interesting information appearing there. I think this is about Telegram, but I'm going to leave it for later. To the help needed section. There is indeed an idea of figuring out whether Riot, which is a video solution, like a video chatting solution, and whether Wire, whether either of those platforms work well with Mozilla, Air Mozilla in general, so that we can actually stream things live, because they definitely do support their own kind of communication formats and conferencing, video conferencing, but we have no idea if they work well with Air Mozilla. So I think MKL, you're on the case. If you want to investigate, I mean, I'm not a technical person, but we can definitely try and get in touch with Khan, for example, and he can help us test maybe. Khan is our most amazing Air Mozilla ally who's making sure that we're going your way live and direct. There's also a bunch of threads there that have some interesting options and opportunities for those of you who are wondering whether there's anything else to be done around Sumo other than answering questions in forums or on social, or whether localizing articles is the best thing you can do outside of that. There are other things that we are looking for help with, so please do take a look, click. It's just a click away. It doesn't have to be interesting to you, and maybe you'll be like, yeah, whatever. But if you don't take a look, you won't know. So there you go. Please do take a look and be there for us like we are here for you. Dear friends and revolutionaries, it's 31 past the hour, which means I think we're done with the agenda. I'm just going to take a very quick look at the IRC channel to make sure that there's nothing untowards going on there, as in there's no unanswered questions or concerns from anybody. But I think it's quite clear and quiet there. So with this, I shall bid you all a great day, evening, morning, afternoon, whatever you have there. Enjoy it, and we shall see you tomorrow for the platform meeting. Do not forget, there is a platform meeting. So same time, same place, platform meeting. Take care, and thank you very much. Bye
Bye.
bye.